And we're live.
There we go.
So I'm Amelia. I'm the admin of Jaina Solo fanbase, and I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who also admins several other Star Wars Expanded Universe pages. Okay, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, Dylan?
Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm on Facebook a lot. I do things with Star Wars, kind of.
Like he makes Star Wars Lego figures, like his own unique Lego figures.
Custom figures, yes.
Mhm.
I have actual ones, but yeah,
Yeah,
for this, since we're talking about Jaina, I broke out my custom Jaina I made because vote
it is
Jaina.
awesome.
And I also have a jagged fell, even though they don't make the proper hairpiece for him with the white
Oh, I
strip,
agree.
and then Jason as well. So I don't have an Anakin yet. I'm trying to find a
Mhm.
good body model for it, but we're here to talk about
But,
Jaina, so the other
yeah.
two are
Do you
important.
know? Do you know what would be awesome though? That Lego figure is really awesome. Do you know what also would be awesome? Having a
Uh,
Black Series figure of Jaina Solo.
yes, that would be awesome.
That would be really awesome. So, as you most of you probably know, StarWars.com allows fans to choose who will be the next unique Black Series figure. Um, and there was some voting from fan sites before that narrowed down the six finalists. Um, and the six finalists are Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, Dengar, the bounty hunter, who shows up in The Empire Strikes Back, as well as several of the books. Uh, Captain Rex from the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, Jaina Solo from basically at least half of the post Return of the Jedi novels, if not like more than half. Um, and Mara Jade from again like Jaina, a bunch of the post Return of the Jedi Star Wars books, and then Darth Talon from the Star Wars Legacy comics. But I, obviously, as the admin of Jaina Solo fan base, am rooting for Jaina. But not only me, but several other Star Wars Expanded Universe page admins have agreed to rally behind Jaina because we feel that it's very important to rally behind one character, especially with so many Expanded Universe characters, because um, we're strongly in favor of sending a message that people still love the EU, and we're not trying to trample on what Disney's done or be like, you guys have to totally retcon all your new movies and new content or anything. But we just kind of want to see more of what we've gotten before. And so having an expanded universe figure win the fan choice for the Black Series sends a very strong message that this is what people want and this is what people want to see more of. So, with that in mind, a bunch of the EU page owners and I decided to rally behind Jaina. Um, and we have several reasons for that. So Dylan,
Oh, because I made the post about this. I got to do it. Okay, let me find
Dylan
it
has a
so I
good
can.
explanation. He explains it well.
Well, the reason that Jaina is of the four characters, one of them is featured prominently in the video games. That'd be Starkiller, and one is a comic character, and two are primarily books characters, being Jaina and Mara. The reason we're voting for Jaina over Mara and the other one, and Starkiller and Darth Talon, is because she is the least likely of the four of them to be made brought into the new canon, essentially ripped off. Because having a the way they've had the continuity now, having another solo kid would essentially break everything that they've done. So they're not going to do it.
Right,
Also,
whereas the other
again,
characters can be brought over, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, like what they're doing with Thrawn. Um,
right.
but but then it gives the EU vote less gravity. That's saying, hey, we want the EU continued. It's more saying like, hey, we just like these characters, rather than saying we want more of these stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, not that any of those other characters are a bad choice. Though it's arguable about Darth Talon because a lot of the votes for her are kind of more the sex appeal than because of her the complexity of her character. But any of those other characters can be brought over, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But Jaina Solo is one who cannot be brought over to the new canon because that would contradict the new Disney storyline of Star Wars. So she has very strong support. Sword of the Jedi was a trilogy that was supposed to happen. That was in the process of being written before Disney decided to declare the previous expanded universe Legends and make it no longer the official canon and discontinue it at least for the time being. So because Jaina Solo was going to be the star of the series that a bunch of people were excited about, having Jaina Solo be the fan's choice for the next figure also sends a strong message that people cared about the series that was supposed to happen, and people looked forward to that, and we want to see more of her. And getting her as the fan's choice for the new Black Series figure is a very strong message of saying we want more of this character.
Mm-hmm. And again, with the inclusion of her in the poll, another thing is that we're afraid that any EU character that wins, they're going to think, oh, they're popular, we should bring it in. Well, Jane is popular, they can't bring her in, but like Amelia said, there's an unfinished book about her that they canceled, so they can give us that book to play off how much we like the character.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are also, of course, a lot of people are complaining that there are two non-mainly expanded universe characters that are in the polls that are not getting as much love, and that we should be supporting the non-EU characters because more people know them, and that it just makes sense because they're actually in the movies. Or
Right,
in
and the basis for supporting expanded universe characters over characters who have appeared in movies and TV shows is that those characters have a higher chance of being made into figures anyways. Like Captain Rex would probably be made eventually just because, a lot of the Clone Wars and Rebels characters are in the works, and he's a very popular figure because he's been in the Clone Wars from the beginning and then has appeared in Rebels since. And also Dengar, even though he has maybe a lower chance of as other movies of being made, he's still a lot of people have been saying, hey, we want to complete our PSB bounty hunter collection. And so for that reason, because they've made the other bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back, they probably would make Dengar eventually anyways. Mm-hmm. So, but the expanded universe characters, because they're from the expanded universe, they have way less chance of ever being made into a figure or even ever being seen again. So supporting them is a way of saying it's kind of the last chance to see them, unless they do continue the expanded universe, which we definitely want to happen, like as an alternate universe from what Disney's doing.
Right. And there's also the adage of this is the second year they've done this. And last year, one of the finalists was old Ben Kenobi, who who had an early lead. Like the first day was actually in the lead in the poll, but after that dropped off as soon as we all started promoting Revan, who eventually won the poll, and Dave Filoni and his camp started promoting
behind
Sabine. So those two won. But the Ben Kenobi figure, if you were at a conventions this summer, is actually available for purchase. It's an exclusive to the conventions,
it's gorgeous.
It is. But it just goes to show they're going to make these characters anyway. So
yes. Yeah. So definitely rallying behind expanded universe characters just send a message. So why Jaina? Definitely because, the whole Sword of the Jedi, she's a really popular character. Another reason is because of the popularity of the Legacy of the Force fan film. That definitely got so much support and so many people rallied behind that. JC Twist and Ty Nelson really want you to support Jaina for obvious reasons. So she just has a lot of popularity and she already has a lot of support. So we can get all the people who want to be figuring anyways, which when we would not otherwise have this chance to see EU figures again. If we can get us all to rally together and support one character, we have a much stronger chance of getting an EU figure. And so for that reason, a bunch of us have rallied behind Jaina because she's just so immensely popular, and she's had the popularity of the legacy of the fourth screen film, and then the Sword of the Jedi trilogy was probably the most um, looked forward to series that people knew were going to happen before it got canceled. I think there was a lot of stuff in the works, but that was the one people had known about for quite a while and had been looking forward to for quite a while. And it was like, okay, we know this is going to happen soon. When is it going to happen? And then, Disney buying out Lucasfilm kind of put that on hold, and people are like, it's going to happen. What's the fate of this? Until in April 2014, when we found out they were discontinuing the Legends timeline. As far as we know, they don't have plans to continue that again. So because of that popularity, we're trying to rally behind her, because we feel that sends a very strong message of wanting more Legends characters, and wanting them in the continuity that we remember them in, which in no way needs to step on the toes of their new content. They can coexist as two separate entities, like the old stories, the Legends, and the new Disney timeline of Star Wars with their new books, movies, TV shows, and everything. They can do that while also letting the Legends coexist as like a separate universe. So we think standing behind Jaina is the strongest way to rally support for one character and help make this happen, which ultimately is just in the long-term goal of, I mean, obviously we want a Jaina Solo figure because she's a badass motherfucker. But in the long run, this also sends a message about wanting the expanded universe continued.
Which gets into kind of the point we're making this video right now, and that is in the poll. Currently, I keep refreshing it just to get the accurate numbers, but Jaina is currently third in the polls, behind Darth Talon right now at 27%, Starkiller 21%, Jaina's at 16%, Captain Rex is at 15%, Dengar 13%, and then Mara at 8%. Now, there's a little bit of a confusion on exactly how the votes are tallied and how many times you can vote. I will say that StarWars.com does have a bit of a bot issue with people bot voting that they are aware of and they do take care of. If you follow their polls from the March Madness, they would actually, right before the polls would end, they would update their numbers to get rid of all the bot votes so that the actual ones are accurate. But currently, it's looking like there's a little bit of bot activity on there. And maybe it's contributing to Jaina, maybe it's not. We don't really know, but we're only a day into the poll. We got until the 22nd, so we've got, counting today, 4 more days to vote. It's actually only 24 hours since the poll. We still have plenty of time. Keep voting for Jaina,
Mm-hmm.
We can.
And yesterday morning, like within the first few hours of the poll, Jaina Solo was soaring, and like all the other characters were in the single digits or low double digits, and Jaina was up in the 60s and 70s. So the tides can easily turn, and we want to turn those tides in the favor of Jaina for the reasons we've mentioned throughout this video.
And then also, going back to last year, even if Jaina doesn't win, last year, the 2 main characters who were in the poll was Revan, who I think finished the poll with 44% of the vote, and then Sabine, who had about 22-23% of the vote, with everyone else in single digits. And they made Sabine the second character.
So we don't know for sure that they'll make the first runner-up another figure, but if that happens, we're all for that. But we very strongly encourage everyone to vote for Jaina, because we feel like that's going to be a very strong way of rallying behind one character, one expanded universe character. We can just bring about this goal of, one, having an awesome figure who we may not otherwise have a Black Series figure of, and 2, sending a message that people still love the expanded universe, that people still want to see the expanded universe.
Right. Well, is there anything more we need to say?
I think we've covered it all, but thank you to the 7 people who have watched this video, and hopefully more people will watch this and help support us. But yeah, thank you for sticking with us and putting up with us. Vote for Jaina Solo and stab a Sith Lord in honor of voting for her. Thanks, guys. Y'all take care. May the Force be with you.